Hey, 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 good evening behind the scenes. It's 8 p.m. I'm Rita Joyan and welcome to your behind the scenes this evening. Behind the scenes of our South Asian Middle Eastern workshop tours that we're doing. And we've just pretty much finalized all the workshops. They're all done. It's been a mammoth task, let me say that to you. And inshallah, we've got one more city to do, which is inshallah Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So we're looking forward to that. And so what I wanted to share with you this evening, as I'm in the car and I'm not driving, so this is all good, this is all legal. What I wanted to talk to you about this evening was the skill set that really sets apart. I mean, I've done these workshops in many countries now, and what I've realized is the people who just kind of get it and those who struggle with it, there's one commonality I have found that separates those who are able to monetize their passion further, faster forward than those who kind of lag. And here's what my aha has been about that. The number one skill set you and I need in order to really be able to monetize our passion, like in terms of find what we love to do and do that for a living, is the skill of coachability. And here's what I mean by that. Okay, here's what I specifically mean by that. Coachability, when I'm talking about coachability, it's referring to flexibility, adaptability, the ability to be able to take on advice, guidance, and use it. Now, I've had experiences where when I've known people are not coachable, it's just obvious not to go ahead. And the reason why I say that is because when you are monetizing your passion and when you're using speaking, because speaking is such a skill set that is so vulnerable, it makes you very vulnerable. You are going to be open to people's opinions of you because it's not behind a post, it's not behind a blog. You're not sitting behind something, you're up front, right there in the guts of everything. And so therefore, oh, thank you for the hearts, I appreciate that. And so therefore, while you're in the guts of the moment, when you're speaking to monetize your passion, you have to become flexible in the moment. When you're using speaking, you can't keep to a rigid way of doing things, especially now that I've done a South Asian and Middle East workshop tour and I've delivered these workshops in different countries and different cities. I've had to become very flexible in my approach, very adaptable in the city that I'm in the culture that I'm teaching at, because let me face it, the culture in Australia is very different to that of Abu Dhabi, to that of Islamabad, to that of Singapore. It's all different. And so I share that with you because if you're looking to find what you're good at, which is what the whole purpose of it is about, if you're looking to find what you're specifically good at and then use that passion, not just, well, let me go with the next good business idea is, but to really look at what you're good at and then be able to find a way to monetize it. Coachability, the ability to take advice and be coachable, in other words, to do what is required, that is the number one skill set in my book, because I know and I've coached and mentored and I train, and those who are willing to be coachable accelerate so much faster than those who kind of, let me think about it, let me see if I want to do this. No, I actually don't feel like it. And you can feel that way, that's up to you, it's your decision. But at the end of the day, the more you lag, the more you kind of ponder and doubt and become more disillusioned and get confused, the longer it's going to take for you to be able to really go after that thing, because you've now set yourself up with all these fears and mindset limitations that you're not going to really want it to go forward, because you're not going to become coachable. And so my advice, anyone who has gone really hard and strong, if you think of someone like Oprah Winfrey, she got sued on the Oprah Winfrey show years ago, because on her program she said that I'm never going to eat beef again, something along those lines. She said something about beef. Then the beef industry in America sued her. The beef industry in America sues Oprah Winfrey, and it's at a time when now she is speaking to an international audience every morning. She's waking up, doing live TV, and she hired a coach to take her through, to get her through that really awful time of being sued and going to court. Now, I'm sharing this with you because everyone that you and I look at and we admire, they have had someone as a coach, as a mentor, to take them through. So you may have heard of Oprah Winfrey's coach. His name was Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil now has his own program, but he was Oprah Winfrey's strategist and mentor and coach. I mean, he's a psychologist. He didn't go by that name, coach or mentor, but she hired him specifically to get her through, mindset-wise, to take her through a time that was really, really hard on her. If you take a look at someone like Mark Zuckerberg, who is the founder of this platform that you're seeing me on, of Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, the creator and founder of Facebook. Guess his mentor was? You ready? Steve Jobs. Yay! The guy who made Apple. You know, Apple, right? The what you bite into? The one that I'm speaking to you right now. I've got an Apple phone. I've got an Apple computer. These people all have coaches. If we take a look at someone like any athlete, you take an Olympic athlete, you take the US Open, the Australian Open, every single one of these athletes, they have a coach. Why? Because someone else has to see what's not going ahead. This year when I was working, not working, but when I was working, when I was competing is the right word, competing in a competition, I hired for myself, because you need someone else to take a look at what you're doing wrong, because sometimes you can't see what you're doing wrong. And when you hire someone else to make that judgment call, then you move a lot faster, because you're not going to settle down into, oh no, I'm fine, I don't know what happened, or maybe I'm good enough, or maybe I'm not good enough, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have what that person has. You don't get into that conversation because you've hired a coach to set you straight. And so I hired someone in the beginning of the year to take me through this competition that I had invested a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, commitment. It was a lot. And I specifically hired him because I wanted him to tell me what was wrong with me and how I needed to improve myself and what I needed to do, because heck, there is a lot that I can improve in, and I'm not going to work it out on my own, sitting in my own mind. Just as much as Oprah couldn't do it for herself, just as much as Mark Zuckerberg couldn't do it for himself, just as much as an Olympian, Usain Bolt, the guy that runs in 10 kilometers in a nanosecond. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like, the guy's got a coach. The guy's got a coach to tell what he should eat, what he should not eat, how he should train, when he should sleep. I mean, because that's part of his work. He's an athlete. His body is his instrument. His athleticism is what works for him. It's his passion. And so for you and I to monetize our passion, we got to be coachable. Because a lot of people think, I'm going to get a coach. That's great, but that doesn't solve the problem. You actually have to do what the coach tells you to do. And one of the hardest things I find when I coach people and I train other people is I'll tell them to do something. Here's what you need to do to find your passion. Here's what you need to do to monetize it. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. You know, it's like that conversation comes up and I'm like, you know, you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself when you become uncoachable. And so I want for you to take a look at your own self and see, where in your life do you need coaching? Because we all do. We all need coaching in some aspect of our life, especially when we want to move further faster than anyone else that we know around us. And that's why an athlete will ordinarily go get a coach, many coaches, because they want to be number one in the world. They want to be able to accelerate and be a professional tennis player or a professional athlete or a professional TV host like Oprah, or start a platform that completely is going to revolutionize communication like Facebook, right? All these people have got coaches. And so I'm sharing that with you because where is the deficiency in your career, in your job? What's deficient? What's missing? What's not what's falling through the cracks? And what aspect of that do you need someone to be able to hold your hand, hold your feet to the fire, so that in 12 months from now, 24 months from now, you're in a different place, you're passionate, you're eager, you're able to uplift and elevate yourself simply because you have the help. There's nothing wrong with asking for it. Every single one of these people that I've talked about does. In fact, I'm just going to end with this. I was watching an interview with, what's his name? Roger Federer. Roger Federer is one of the most prized professional tennis players in the world. And I was watching an interview with him, and his coach took him to Dubai. And if you've never been to Dubai, it's crazy hot. Like, whatever experience of hot you've had, there's nothing like desert hot. Dubai is desert hot. It's like 40, 42 degrees, you cannot walk outside. And this guy, Roger Federer, his coach took him to Dubai so he can go and train. And if you stand outside in Dubai, you don't have to walk. You just stand and there's sweat dripping from you. And so the reason why his coach took him to Dubai is because if he can get through the heat of training in Dubai, then imagine what happens when he's actually playing a match. He is just going to, like, that's just going to be his comfort zone. That heat, that pressure of feeling so sticky and yucky and exhausted by the heat, it's not going to faze him because he's prepared for it and because the coach set him up. And I took that lesson. I took that lesson of what Roger Federer did. And this year when I was competing for my my competition, guess what I did? I went to a park. Okay, I'm walking down a park with my husband. So Sean and I are walking in a park, and I say to Sean, I've got an idea. And he goes to me, oh, please don't have another idea. It's a Sunday. Can we just go for a walk? And I go, no, I got an idea. And so this park that we're in has got a gazebo. And I go into the gazebo and I say to Sean, you know what? I'm going to practice a speech right here, right now. And he's like, no, you're not. I go, yeah, I'm going to practice my speech right here, right now. He goes, why are you doing that for? I said, because I'm scared. And if I do it here, while people will look at me, while children are playing, while their mothers and their kids and families are having a picnic around me, if I can do it here, then come competition time, I'm going to be easygoing. I'm going to be like, the training's got to be harder. So here I am on the gazebo. It's only 7 minutes, by the way, my talk. I get up on this gazebo, in this gazebo, and there is mothers, literally, there are mothers with their prams walking towards me, and they see this person, me, talking to myself, and they go, oh my God, she's a crazy person. And then they take their kid and themselves, they turn around, and I'm just like, and I can see all of this. I can see these expressions of these women looking at me going, is she for real? Like, is she new to planet Earth? You know, like, people are just giving me these stares, and I'm just lapping those stares up. I'm like, give it to me, because it's helping me train. Like, look weird at me, give it to me. And I'm scared inside. Don't get me wrong. I'm scared. I don't want to do this, but that's part of being coachable. Doing what you don't want to do, doing what scares you, getting uncomfortable, which is why then that gave me the confidence to be able to book workshops in different countries, because I went through a training that, like without putting your integrity on the line or your self-respect on the line, like that, you don't ever do that. But me talking to myself, giving a speech in a park, I'm not losing self-respect, I'm not losing integrity, but I am getting out of my comfort zone, and I am scaring myself, and I am feeling the heat of embarrassment and nervousness, and people looking. I'm feeling all of that. I totally feel that. But I lived. Like, I lived, and I tell you the tale right now. So my point in sharing that with you is, I from time to time have struggled with coachability, but the way to monetize your passion, to find what it is, number one, and then to be able to monetize it, whether you're a mum, whether you are working in a job you don't like, whether you've never liked your job, whether you just kind of went from job to job and you kind of just, you know, landed in one job to another. There's still time for you to find your passion. You still have that taste, so that you can stay home if you want, or travel if you want, or do whatever you want. It's the only time in history. It's the only time in history. Our parents didn't have this. Our grandparents certainly didn't have it, where we can think of something we want to do and we can monetize it. Never in history has that happened, only thanks to the internet. Only thanks to the fact that our community, our society has moved further along, and the industrial society is no longer a burden. It's no longer a one-stop shop. So, long story short, I wanted to share that with you too. Number one skill is coachability. I'm going to wrap this video up because we're about to just stop the car and I'm probably going to lose reception here. But I hope that helps you. If you've got any questions, guys, I never seem to ask that, so I am now. If you've got any questions about what I share at any time, please go and inbox me. I find a lot of people just inbox me rather than put comments. You're most welcome to put comments. But put a message down there, or give me an inbox, or have a chat with me, because if there's something that I can help you with to move further, faster forward, then coachability is something that you definitely need. And if that's something you want to speak about, then please do let me know, and I'm more than happy to set some time aside and we can have a chat. So wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a beautiful evening, morning, day, and I shall catch you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. behind the scenes. Talk to you then. Bye.